Hey you guys, this is really wonderful. Welcome to Point Betsie and Point Betsie's 150th birthday. So I'll give her a quick hand. We also have Benzonia's 150th birthday. So hear it for Benzonia. We are also celebrating the Nature Conservancy's Zetterberg Preserve out here, celebrating their 20th anniversary, and we're going to introduce you to the Zetterbergs in a little bit. So, last but not least, it's today, very day, the 218th birthday of the United States Coast Guard. So let's hear it for the Coast Guard. We've got a big evening planned for you, and if the weather holds, which it looks like it's going to, I can't thank you enough again for coming and to share the night with us. My name is Amy Ferris, and I'm one of the volunteers out here at Point Betsie. Point Betsie was built 2 years before the Civil War started. Kind of give you an idea in the space of time here. It's a patriotic building. If you can, I want you to start standing, get to your feet. We're going to raise the flag on our new flagpole in a minute. Very nice. There's a little bit of wind tonight, and I don't know if anybody can be the first to tell me what's a little unusual about the flag that's now flying.
It only has 40 stars.
Yeah, it's very close. It doesn't have the usual number of stars that we're accustomed to. That's because when this lighthouse was first built and the flag was first raised, there were only 32 states in the United States. So it's 32 star flag. Okay?
Did you know that the United States Coast Guard is one of the oldest organizations of the federal government? And until the Navy Department was established in 1798, it served as the nation's only armed force afloat?
Today, the Coast Guard is one of America's 5 armed forces and traces its roots to this very day, August 4th, 218 years ago. It was in 1790 when the first Congress authorized the construction of a fleet of revenue marine cutters set to enforce the fledgling nation's tariff and trade laws and protect the collection of federal revenue.
And it was Alexander Hamilton who set forth principles of decisive leadership and professional behavior for those standing the watch over our coastal borders when he said, "I recommend in the strongest terms to the respective officers activity, vigilance, and firmness, that their deportment may be marked with prudence, moderation, and good temper."
The Revenue Marine Cutter Service, as it was all first known, expanded in size and responsibilities as the nation grew. Soon native peoples who had been here for countless generations were beginning to be crowded, as I said earlier, by the explorers, the trappers, and the voyageurs. And they, in turn, were being replaced by waves of European settlers who pushed further and further into the country's interiors.
How did these people get here? The largest highway west was by way of the Great Lakes. It was because of the nation's development westward and the need to give it protection that this very site was determined to be a good one for a lighthouse. The light in Point Betsie's tower first officially appeared at dusk on October 20th, 1858. Thus began her 150-year reign of this Lake Michigan shore and began her fast and emotional hold on our hearts.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Well, we're about to get to the Benzonia people, but before we do, I wondered if you noticed what just pulled up out in the lake there. I don't know, folks. little communication here. Come on in. Come on in. Well, maybe now's a good time to introduce Chief Michael Betsie, who is the new chief in town.
Well, good evening. My name is Mike Betsie. I'm the new officer in charge of the Coast Guard Station in Frankfort. Been here about a month. It's great to be here. That is some of my crew. They are not buzzing. I tried to call them, thought maybe if I could get a siren or a blue light going, that might impress you. However, if I get them any closer and they lose a propeller, then we can't do our job, and that's then I'm passing the hat. It is getting close to the end of our fiscal year, too. I just want to take a few minutes. My last job before this was Muskegon, and part of my responsibility, in addition to search and rescue and law enforcement, was taking charge and taking care of the aids and navigation from Michigan City, Indiana, up to Point Betsie. Although I didn't have to deal with painting the actual structure and taking care of all the other stuff, we maintained the visual signal. And I just want to let you all know how wonderful it is that volunteers such as the people here seated amongst you and up here with me, that they volunteer their time, they take care of this, they solicit donations, and they maintain these structures that otherwise the Coast Guard would deem excess. As a citizen and a steward of tax dollars, when you're dealing with a structure that's 150 years old, it takes a great deal to maintain it. And to make best use of our limited resources and tax dollars, sometimes it's easier for us to take a piece of steel tubing, paint it white, stick a light up on top of it, and I can operate that very cheaply. However, we lose all of the history that makes this area so great. So I really appreciate what they've done for me as an employee of the Coast Guard and for our community of West Michigan. So I think they need a round of applause. Thank you very much. And I'd like to take one more second to recognize another group of people that are with us tonight who are also, unlike myself, not on the payroll. It's the Coast Guard Auxiliary. They were behind the scenes here. They had the bugle going and they hoisted the flag. This is some of the finest Americans that I've ever had the privilege of working with. They come out, they volunteer their time, they have to actually purchase their uniforms out of their own pockets just to come out and serve the community alongside me. I'm getting paid. You know, they're shelling money to come out and play. They bring their own boats. They donate a ton of their time. They come to my station, they stand radio watch, which is like the 911 center. They qualify, they sit in a radio room, and they will be often the first voice that somebody in distress hears. They get out with their boats, they allow my boat drivers, my boat coxswains, to tow them around, they simulate distress, and without that, it's hard for me to do my job and train my crew. So I'd like to give them a round of applause if you don't mind. That's all I got. Thank you very much for your time, and it's great to be here.